Tape is the answer to almost everything and for sure one of my most versatile tools. I can't really count the amount of times that tape has saved me, but I can give you a few situations where you would. Keep in mind that I'm talking about duct tape, alright? The strongest of the types that you can get in construction stores. Number 1, insulating the van. I didn't initially thermally insulate my van with good options. I had reused the insulation material that was already there. That didn't change the fact that I had to get it off and then back on the walls so I could check the walls for rust. Putting the insulation back on was a pain in the ass kind of job and probably the one that I hated the most. Besides the occasional bugs that I'd find in it after it had spent a full week outside in the grass, the material was also itchy like a motherfucker. Problems aside, tape really helped me to keep the material standing on the walls and hanging on the roof while we finished putting on the boards. Number 2, holding the solar panel. For a while, I had 2 solar panels that were screwed to my roof's metal structure. The third panel had lost the hose for the bolts and got loose after one of the metal tubes had been hit by a fucking tree. Having it screwed is always the best option, but in that moment, I had safely fixated it on the frame with duct tape, which allowed me to take my time to fix everything back to how it was before. And it worked amazingly. We were always postponing fixing that, but eventually Jerome helped us out and now everything is fixed properly. Well, besides the permanent remnants of the tape on top of the panels, although they've never really affected the performance of the system and they've all been basically gone by now anyways. Number 3, installing the inverter. Back in the day, this task was a 2-person job as one person needed to hold the nuts from one side while the other person tightened the bolt from the other side. Now, I was traveling alone when I needed to replace my inverter and I had no choice but to figure out how to do it by myself. I used tape on my wrenches to simulate someone holding the tools and then screwed the bolts myself from the other side, and it worked just fine. I was even impressed, to be honest, on how well it worked out. Number 4, gluing the electric cables covers to the wall. We protected our electric cables from the outside also to look better, but back in the day, these covers kept getting unstuck from the wall. Their glue just wasn't enough to hold them. So we put silicone between them and the wooden boards of the wall and held them with tape so the covers wouldn't disconnect from the wall until the silicone got dry. Number 5, homemade handles. You can use tape to open drawers and doors if you want, just like this. They work super well if the drawer isn't too heavy, which only happened once with us. Screwing handles on the drawers and doors can be quite the job, so I guess if you don't mind how it's gonna look, this is a great simple option that we still use nowadays. Now, there are many other examples of when tape has served me well, but I cannot remember all of them, okay? Bottom line is, get tape. You use it a lot for a lot of shit. One warning though, if you have a van with fiberglass surfaces like mine on top, or maybe you want to use tape on fiberglass, beware that it releases a powder that prevents the tape from sticking well to the surface in the first place. A solution for this, which I use and works amazing, is to paint the surface with varnish. That way you cover it with a different material, which is much more sticky. And I'll see you in the next video.